Hey everybody, my name is Thomas and I'm first speaker of the negative team for today. So today's motion is going to be, does voting matter? I think voting doesn't matter because firstly, U.S. presidents are elected in the members of electoral college and not directly by voters. It means that they don't care about much than making a station for people to walk in and make their vote. I think no, because firstly, now technology has grown, people usually use electronic college. It means that they use technology to give out vote paper. They don't write on real paper and then give back to the reporter for that and sum up all the points they got. They just use this. They take all the papers first, but they also checked online that sees everything is good. I said, good, there's a bunch of votes here. I take it back. And said, then your vote will disappear in a few days or even months. They won't usually go in months, but super rarely they'll come back in months. After that, they don't use that. They usually don't write on paper. They use the internet, and that's not directly by voters, and it's not voting doesn't matter at all. So many people don't vote. The second is the winner of the population vote doesn't mean that there's the president. That doesn't mean that he doesn't always become president because of the electoral college. Because the electoral college is very famous, and now they usually use them to vote. It means there are a bunch of them, a bunch of votes for. They had a bunch of electronical, and they vote online. They will put on a website of voting, and then say, this guy's vote, I'm gonna take it. Now it's really popular, and also many people don't know about it because they just care on paper, but there's also the internet, so it's not quite like that because the winner of the population means the more voter the wins, but that's not true. The more states and the more electoral college his votes will win, not the population that votes on paper. No, that's only the outside part. The inner part that we need to break in is the electoral college. My third argument is it's very unlikely for a big election to come down on one vote. It means one vote doesn't matter at all. It means that it's very unlikely that a very big election, can only take one people. That can come down to one people. It means that if they don't vote to maybe Harris and Trump are arguing together. After they arguing, that very unlikely that one side got very least and the other side got a huge massive. That's in people's thoughts. But if I think back closer, that it's not quite fair, you know, because Trump is treated people very well, but one time Harris did the job. Many people disagree, but a few people still agree, and they will keep voting who will win, and lastly it's Trump. So now the fourth one is many people believe politicians don't care about what they need, about them and what their needs. It means that there was the crisis. It means the Great Depression crisis. It was very poor, but the government had a bunch of materials. It means also materials to fight, to take food, to defeat the enemies. That's still the war. But nowadays, they don't get treated quite well. don't get treated at when that olden days. Actually, the government had a bunch of materials and stuff that people need to have, but they don't share. And now many politicians right now still didn't care about what they need and what they need and care about them. It's not quite fair, you know. And lastly, most Americans don't trust the government because there's one thing that is quite wrong. The time that the people still believe in the government, but one time they give out fake news. They gave out fake news that a volcano was erupting. Run! And they both evacuate. But actually, when it came all out, there's no volcano. There's no volcano at all. And the government that gives that idea out will get punished. You know, even the president got punished. Because they still gave the money to the king or queen of that country. Because it's like that. Because they still need to give money because of the payment. It means the king and queen are really rich. And then one time he got a fine because he gave that fake information. And now still the Americans don't even trust the government. So to wrap it up, does voting matter? I think no, right? Trust me. After you watch this video, you will trust me about it. So that's the end of my arguments and also my speech. Thank you for listening.